Alright, bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to talk about the cloak. A cloak, you see this usually in fantasy or medieval movies, but it is actually a very good survival technique or a great piece of equipment that you can use. As you can see, this cloak entirely goes around me, and I even have a little hood that I can put on. So when it rains, when it's cold, I can just put it around by me. I'm very warm, and as you can see, it's made out of wool, and wool retains 80% of their insulation value even when it's soaking wet. And like with the hood, you can use it during rain to keep warm. So that's another benefit. And during the night you can use it as an improvised sleeping bag. I made a video about how to use a woolen blanket into a sleeping bag. And another thing is you can hide stuff. So for example, if you go all decked out in good gear or clothing like you find in the camping stores or tactical clothing, the problem is the moment the marauders, robbers, thieves or desperate people see that, they will think that's a guy who is prepared, that's a guy that has shit, and I want that shit, I need that shit. So a cloak, like the first thing you would think is, oh, it's just a guy in rags walking around. But the thing is, like I said, you can hide things. At this moment now, I'm carrying a firearm, and I'm also carrying my shoulder pack and my backpack. So for example, in case you're walking around like this, some guy is trying to rob you or whatever, you can just take your firearm that you can hide. This is for the reason why I show you a larger firearm is, and not a pistol, is just to show you that it can easily be hidden within the cloak. Leave in a comment if you saw it, if you saw a side of the rifle before I showed you, just as a reaffirmment on how this goodies worked. Just I want to see how many people had noticed. Alright, and like I said, you can use it as a raincoat to keep warm, and also to keep warm during walking, during sleeping, and in case you find a lot of stuff, you can use it as an improvised backpack or as an improvised kilt, and those are all the things you can do. Another thing you can do is for camouflage. This is not really good camouflage. It is brown, but it is one of those Swiss emergency woolen blankets. But if you want to stay hidden and you've got a neutral color, this helps breaking some of the contours around your body. And that is the thing about camouflage. You have to break the human form, and a cloak does that well. Or if you're going to lay low in camouflage, this can also help with that. And I will show you in a minute how you actually just make a cloak a simple cloak out of just a blanket. This is just a blanket. I'll show you in a minute. Just gonna take this off. And as you can see, this was all the stuff that I was hiding: backpack, the rifle, and also my shoulder pack. So I'm gonna take this off for a minute, just to show you how to make a cloak out of a blanket. So as you can see, this is a rather big cloak, big blue woolen blanket, and there is just one simple thing you have to do. As you can see, I sewn a button on top of this, and this button is usually my wait, I got this right. This was usually on the right, yes. It's a little bit difficult to find out. And the other thing is, in this, there is just a hole where the button goes through. Don't make it too large, and you can reinforce the edges if you have time enough. And just when you sew on the button, you can just put it through like this. And now you got a cloak. So your hands are still free to do stuff. When it's a little bit warm, you can put it a little bit higher, and you put the button in a way that it's connecting to your shoulder, it's resting on your shoulder and not only on your neck. So if you get grabbed, that nobody can choke you out a little bit. And you also have to leave some room for in the back to make a hood. So yeah, that is just a simple way to make a cloak work like this, and it's just very simple, very easy, very cheap to make. And yeah, if you get a good cloak and you make it a little bit better than me, that it's more in a fitting way or with multiple buttons, yeah, then you can make something nice and also looks a little bit awesome, to be honest. So yeah, there are several things you can do. There's I would say look up for pictures about how they make clothing for Vikings, medieval styles in Europe. In other cultures they also do this, but that I have not found out. What are the the disadvantages of this? I would say the disadvantages of a cloak is it's harder to carry with a backpack. Like you saw, this was a small backpack that I had underneath the cloak, and you didn't see that. But if I would have my regular bug-out bag, which is a giant bag, I would look like a hunchback, and that would also give stuff away. You can also not put the backpack around you when you're having the cloak. A little bit, but like I said, this is handy when it's a light backpack, but not when it's a big backpack, because otherwise it will pull you a little bit back and you cannot fold it around you like I did before. Now my arms will be exposed, so a backpack is not really good stuff. So it's more for light traveling, I would say, or in case you have a very small bug-out bag. And like I made a video about all the things you can do with a woolen blanket. So the cloak is just one of the things that are out of it, but I wanted to make a video about it because, to be honest, I saw the trailer for Helldivers, the game, and I was wondering, why are these soldiers wearing a cloak? It was only for being cool because they were futuristic technique, but I was thinking, that made me think about, yeah, a cloak in another setting that could actually be helpful. So yeah, don't mind if I look a little bit like a helldiver right now, but yeah, having a cloak. Another thing you can do is when you unbutton it, you can just walk around in a camp or whatever. You can use it as a sleeping bag, or you can just fold it up and put it around your backpack, or with a woolen trench coat, you can roll it up a little bit more. Yeah, I did it wrong. I just had to fold it again in the middle. Like with the trench coat, you can just put it around your backpack like this and roll it and tie it together, and then it's around your body when it's too warm or too bulky to carry. So like it's one of those, like you saw in old Soviet pictures of soldiers that they wear something around the middle. Well, that is a woolen blanket or their trench coat. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video about the possibilities of a cloak. So I hope this gave you some ideas. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. So see you in the next video. Cheers.